Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. Real quick, tonight at 6:30 or between 6:30 and 7 o'clock, depending on traffic, I'm going to be on Fremont Street because it just opened up last night and I just wanted to go check it out with you guys and give you my unique spin on it. Everybody can go to Fremont Street. Everybody can have a good time right now. Casinos might not be open entirely, but they will be soon. But I want to check out Fremont Street with you. So 6:30 to 7, that's when I'll start the stream. That's Las Vegas time. Hope to see you there. Now the video. Action. This is going to be a massive rundown of things I've heard in the news media, which you can look up and search on Google. A lot of these come from Dr. Fauci and CNN and all sorts of people, sources that everybody on all sides agree are good sources. So we don't polarize, folks. And if you're afraid of coming to Las Vegas and your friends and family are afraid of you coming here as well, you might want to take a look at this video. It might give you a few things to say about all that. How's it going, everybody? My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. I hope you would like, share, subscribe. Give us a comment in the description below or the box below. Are you skipping Vegas till there's a vaccine because there may not be a vaccine? Or are you thinking you guys are going to come back rip-ran ready to go? You're going to be here on June 4th at 12:01 a.m. sharp so you can put some money in the slots and feel some normalcy again? Or do you think it's all a bunch of hogwash? That's okay too. So if you guys want to be in the credits of the video, you can head on over to Patreon. You can do the Teespring thing. That would be pretty cool if you guys want to. A free thing you guys can do. You guys can go into the Facebook group, Not Leaving Las Vegas. You can talk about stuff respectfully. Give your opinion respectfully. Reply to others' opinions respectfully, because we have a great group with good people in there. But things have been going at a rapid clip lately, haven't they? My goodness, Vegas is going to open up. It was supposed to be June 1st from what I understand, but the Gaming Control Board threw a monkey wrench into that. It went something like this. The Gaming Control Board said, wait a minute, you want to open on June 1st? Great. What about the face masks? Oh, you're not going to do face masks? Well, you need to resubmit everything because the casinos don't want to do face masks. And their original plans, like the WINS plan and whatnot, actually called for that. So we have a 3-day extension out on the reopening. But that's good. June 4th, right? We go to the Strip last night. We've been there a few times. Tons of people all over the place just enjoying themselves. People are in groups. People don't seem to be social distancing. Does that bother you? Because that might bother a lot and might keep some people away. But what I want to get down to as the meat and potatoes of this video are the following facts. In the last week, if you've not looked, you might not have seen it. In the last week, Dr. Fauci was quoted as saying that actually shutting down might be doing more damage than good. So a lot of people on one side of the political spectrum were saying that for a while. A lot of people on the other side of the political spectrum, in some cases, in some extreme cases, are pushing for a shutdown until a vaccine exists, which could be 18 months to never. We'll get to the never part in a minute. And some people all over the place are just looking to enjoy life a little bit. Dr. Fauci finally said at this point, shutting down might be doing more harm than good. The information I've read out there that does exist is that in some states, they've actually had just as many deaths and shutdowns. They haven't had any improvement in anything. In some states like Georgia that did do a opening back up phase have actually had the exact same numbers as when they were shut down. So the numbers in the stats are really strange. Of course, in every state that opens up, you're going to have the chance of a flare-up, and it's something that we have to really be really good at tracking and making sure that we have a plan for, and that's what we're banking on in Nevada. And we have some other things that the casinos are doing. The other thing that came up, we'll talk about the other casino actions in a few minutes. The other thing that came up, though, was the CDC, the Centers for Diseases Control. Now, it's not fair to vilify the CDC. It's really not. You got to remember, when something like HIV/AIDS came out in the late 70s, early 80s, it took them years and years to actually sequence it and figure out what it was. There was a point where people were freaked out over it. They didn't know what it was, just like there was a point where they were freaked out over this. They didn't know what it was either. There was a lot of myths about that disease in the 80s, and it's a nasty disease that we've gotten a handle on, and people now live a very long life when they go on it with proper therapeutics and medicines. And there's a lot of misinformation and bad information about C19 virus that we're learning about right now. One of the things that we're learning about right now this week is that C19 virus probably doesn't linger on surfaces for very long whatsoever. It might linger for a few minutes if there's a lot of it there, but it's not like we thought before. It's not like we thought before. Every store you go into as a safety precaution right now is disinfecting all of the carts, and if they're not doing it for you, they probably have a bottle of alcohol there, not bought a bottle of alcohol to drink, a spray bottle, and you're going to spray the cart and wipe it down if you're doing your due diligence and being safe according to what the experts have told us. Now the experts are saying that it doesn't really live on surfaces. That's a positive thing, especially in a city like Vegas, where people are constantly touching door handles and things. Now, does that mean that you shouldn't take precautions? Of course not. Of course not. There's experts in the medical field. There's a doctor out of New York City that is saying right now that the only way this actually goes from human to human is you touch something or a person, you touch your mouth, you touch your eyes, you touch your nose. So wash your hands constantly, but the CDC says that it doesn't actually spread that way. There's another thing from the CDC that says that possibly 35% of everybody have had it. We've all been asymptomatic, or we thought we had a worse version of the common cold or the flu that we usually have. That's the case for me. That's the case for my wife. That's the case for several people I know in Las Vegas. I had the opportunity through one of my awesome subscribers to go to Consumer Electronics Show. There was hundreds of thousands of people all around me in very close quarters. We're literally bumping and jostling each other at some points. Bet you I had some close contacts with some people. Bet you I picked up something. Bet you there's a chance. Bet you there's a chance. So if 35% of people might have had it, but we don't know the hard stats, that's just their best guess at this point. That puts us in a much different perspective, doesn't it? If we're asymptomatic, if we have antibodies, if we are a little more protected than we think we are, if that's how we reacted to it the first time, maybe if we get it a second time, those 35% of people aren't going to be extremely at risk. We don't know for sure. We also know for sure, though, that if you look at the stats from the CDC's own website, this is something that targets the elderly. If you're over 65 and you're watching my videos, God bless you, I love you. If you're any age and you're watching my videos, that's awesome. But it also means that we know where people can become more protected. Certain folks might not want to travel until a vaccine that might not exist does exist. That doesn't mean you can't travel, but it means if you travel, you should be washing your hands, wearing a mask if you're in close contact with people. That's what the other doctor said as well. You're not going to get this thing from just a few seconds. It's got to be like 30 minutes or so with a person one-on-one. That's why doctors and dentists and plastic surgeons and nail people and tattoo artists should be wearing masks. That's for sure, because they're in closer contact. But we now know what the targeted groups are, and if 35% of us, if that proves to be true, not necessarily true yet, a lot of you guys don't hear all the words I say because I say them real fast. I know, and I love you for that. You're watching. Not proven 100% true, best guesses. But the best guesses now say 35% of people could have been asymptomatic. We already had it and we didn't know about it. But what about that vaccine, you say? I want to wait until the vaccine comes out. I understand you want to wait until the vaccine comes out, but the problem is, may not actually ever exist. Yeah, I watched an interview on YouTube. It was Ben Shapiro interviewing about Barack Obama's former Surgeon General, very smart Surgeon General. And they talked about antibodies, they talked about antibody testing, and they talked about the fact that there's no less than 30 different versions of the exact same C19 that we've been fighting, all floating around the world, and that it mutates. A primer on how flu viruses work, if you don't know this already. A flu virus goes around the world, goes around the world, goes around the world. Every year it goes around, we come up with a flu shot. We take the shot, we hope that we got it right. If we got it right, your body develops some antibodies against that version of the flu. You might not get it as bad, you might not get it at all. It's all based on the individual. But that's literally what they're developing here. They're thinking with this. Now, maybe the vaccine people are perfect, and I really hope that they are. Maybe there is only one primary version of a vaccine that they need. There's been some good tests lately. People are really positive. The first round of people that got it developed antibodies. The second round of people are going to be given a little bit more. We're going to see how it reacts in people. So hopefully it does turn out. But what if there's 30 versions of this? What if every year you have to get a combination flu shot and C19 shot? That's an opportunity that might exist in the future for us. But again, we just don't know enough information. But back to the point of this video. If you're worried about coming here, you're worried about coming here. I'm not here to change your mind. I'm not here to be a cheerleader and tell you that, yeah, you should come to Las Vegas. It's going to be just like what it was back in January 1st of 2017. Nothing of the sort. That's not the case. The truth is, we don't know what it's going to be like going forward. We know that 35% of people could have possibly had this. We know that it doesn't necessarily linger on contacts, on things like counter surfaces and doorknobs like we thought it did. We know that we have to be consistently washing our hands. We know we have to train ourselves not to touch our face, which is a big thing for me because I touch the face all the time. I just have very hyperactive skin. It's just the way I am. We know a lot of different things now that we didn't know even just a few weeks ago. Now, we also know that opening a state up with a giant invisible monster that can harm people is always risky too. But we know now that the state has testing and numbers all over. There's a Walmart store up on Rainbow where I was today, Rainbow and the 215 Beltway. They have a C19 testing facility right there. Nobody's at the testing facility. I'm telling you that right now. Positive sign? I hope so. Because the less people that think they have it, that really need to get medical help, the less strain we put on the system, the less people that actually get positive tests, the more proof it is that we could have been asymptomatic. But again, it's all data, it's all numbers, it's all things we don't know until we know more. So you're thinking about coming here, that's good. That's good, that's real good. We know what we know now, and we're gonna know more tomorrow. So if any other big things come up, that's good. If you can take this information and you can utilize it into whether or not you think you want to come to Las Vegas, that's a good thing too. My deal is to try to empower people, to give them good information so they can make good decisions for themselves. And if I can get to the very end and I did all that, then it's a good day for me because you guys have some options for when you travel. You guys decide to go camping at a cabin somewhere. Wow, that's a cool trip and I'm jealous of you. I'd love to go camping in a cabin somewhere. Or you decide to come to Las Vegas and invest in our town. Either way, be happy and be comfortable, because even though I love this city, I'm not out here to try to get you to travel here against your better wishes. That's not what we're out to do. That's just what people do when they try to convince you that something isn't what it is, and we don't want to ever do that. So, once again, I hope you liked the video. My name's Steven. I am not leaving Las Vegas. I'm a Vegas blogger. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for the future notifications. You guys can comment below what you think about the whole messy situation we have out here in America, the world, Las Vegas in particular for this situation. And, you know, if you want to be on the credits of the video, go over to the Patreon. If you guys want to get involved with some merchandise, there's Teespring. And if you want to do a free cool thing that's fun, go over to the Facebook group called Not Leaving Las Vegas. Now's the time of the video where I say 3, 2, 1, click, and we got to click out. And I'm on a tripod, so I get wobbly if I don't do it right. So you ready for this? 3, 2, 1, and click.